Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a Q&A, get ready with me, first YouTube video ever. So welcome and thanks for tuning in or subscribing or watching, whatever you want to call it. But I'm really nervous to make this video, but I'm also really excited. I've been wanting to do YouTube for a while. I started Instagram, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'll link my makeup Instagram down below. And I will also be linking any of the products that I use today down below. But yeah, so if you want to see how I get this look, as well as hear some of the questions and answers, then please keep watching. Let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to grab my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is the best concealer ever. And I'm just going to conceal some of my blemishes here. I'm like using the camera to see. I don't know what I'm doing. So first question is, who taught you everything you know? Well, my sister asked me this question, and she asked me this question because she taught me everything that I know. No, but she didn't, but also she did. She was the one who got me into makeup when I was like, you know, in 7th grade. She's the one who really got me going, so props to my sister. But now I would like to say that I teach her some things, you know. Once I have that concealed, I like to go in with foundation. My favorite foundation, it's drugstore, the Matte and Poreless foundation by Maybelline. I use shade 120 Classic Ivory because I'm really fair right now. I need to start spray tanning again, even though hubby, he's not really into the spray tan look, but I like it. So I just dab this everywhere, like sloppily. So the next question is, what foundation brush is your favorite? So I usually only use beauty blenders until I bought the brand new Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collection. So it's the JH03. It looks like this. It's my absolute favorite. It's the same foundation brush that Morphe sells already. I don't know the number, I can link it down below, but yeah, it's the same exact one. So you can either buy the Jaclyn Hill one or you can buy the regular one. But you just buff it in. My texture has been so bad lately. Ugh. But I will say, using a foundation brush over a beauty blender just feels so good. So next, I'm gonna go in on the eyes. What I like to do is go back in with my Shape Tape Concealer. And I just dot some concealer right there on the top. And then with this concealer brush, I didn't even tell you what it was earlier. It's the JH08 brush. It's just a really good blending brush for concealers or contour or whatever, you know. And then you just blend it away. All right, so once you have that all blended out, I had to turn the music off. It was distracting. Okay, so then what I like to do is I go in with some banana or translucent powder, whatever you have. I'm gonna be using this Tarte contour palette. If I can get it open. And I just use this white shade right here. And I just use a taper powder brush. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH07. You just dip it in there. And I like to just tap it on top, and it gets it nice and smooth. and ready for eyeshadow. So next on the eyes, I'm gonna be using my Desi times Katy with Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. It looks like this. It's so beautiful. I'm obsessed. And I'm going to use my Jaclyn and Morphe collaboration JH36. It looks like that. It's a nice fluffy brush. This is my favorite. And I'm gonna dip into the color Cheens. Actually, let's go in with basic first. That's this one right here. It's just a really nice, like a nice matte, soft brown. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to be sweeping this into the crease really lightly. And while I'm doing this, I'll answer another question. Let me see here. Okay, another question is, what is a random fact about yourself? Oh gosh, I have no idea. I know a random fact about myself. I am I'm terrified of pickles. I hate them. Like, if it touches my food, I will not eat it. That's how much I hate pickles. So all my friends always tag me in the grossest videos on Facebook that have anything to do with pickles. It's disgusting. Ugh. I'm gonna bring the shadow pretty high on my brow bone because I'm thinking of doing a half cut crease. I have hooded eyes, so if I don't bring it high enough when I cut the crease, I'll just get rid of all that eyeshadow and then all that work that I did is out the window. Next, I'm going to go in with this dark brown shade right here. It's called Cheens, like a cappuccino, which this actually brings me to my next question, which is, who is your favorite YouTuber? Honestly, I love them all, but if I had to choose one, I would say Desi Perkins is probably my favorite. But honestly, I don't know. I like them all. I like all of you. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But if I had to choose one, I would say Desi Perkins. I just feel like she's so humble and I just love, you know, her personality. She seems very down to earth. And the products that she uses and creates and collabs with other brands are amazing. So she's my favorite. That's what I would say. I'm gonna darken up right there in the crease. I'm literally putting that basically right over the top of where I put the first color, basic. And this is just gonna help to define and the crease and, you know, really give some depth. That way when I cut the crease, it just looks nice and dramatic and the line gets super sharp. Sorry if I'm blocking your view. I don't know what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna take one of my brushes from this collection, I guess you could say. I don't even know. Oh, it's right here. Okay, this brush, it's my favorite brush in the whole entire world. I don't know where it's from. I don't know who it's by. I don't know how much it costs, but it's a flat tip brush. I'll show you, hold on. I just broke it. It's a flat brush. See, it's nice and skinny, and it gets wide again. This is like the perfect brush for cutting the crease. The Jaclyn Hill one, the Jaclyn Hill collection has one really similar to it, but it's a lot thicker than this one. I feel like, I don't know, you can tell I use this one like crazy, so this is my go-to brush. I think I ordered it off of Groupon or Amazon or something. I don't really remember, but you know, I'm using my Shape Tape concealer, and what I like to do is I just grab the applicator, I guess. I take my brush and I get the littlest bit of product right on the tip. That's what she said. And so I take it like this. I'm gonna grab my mirror. Okay. Once I've cut the crease, I drag all this concealer down and I cover the lid, and then I'll set it with translucent powder. And voila. I'm gonna do the other side off camera and I'll be back. So now I've cut the creases. What I'm gonna do is I take a little bit of translucent powder. I'm gonna be using a CoverGirl Clean Professional translucent setting powder. It's in the shade 105, but that's the translucent shade. They have ones that are with tints in them for darker complexions, or if you're just wanting like to put it over a tinted sunscreen or something, those work really well. Okay, so I just have a little bit on my brush and I literally just pat it over the concealer. Next question is from my best friend, Macy, and she asked, when am I going to make her an auntie? Well, not anytime soon, but also not in the far future, so I'll let you know. You'll probably be the first one to know. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same palette and I'm going to go back in with that dark brown shade, which is Cheens right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, on that same fluffy brush, this is the JH36, I'm gonna pack it onto the outer corner just to deepen the outer crease. And I decided to do glitter. You can never go wrong with glitter. And then the glitter will just blend directly into the brown. So for glitter today, I'm going to be using the Stila Liquid Glow Glitter Eyeshadow in Bronze Bell. And next question, what do me and my husband do for a living? Well, right now I am a substitute teacher full-time. I teach almost every day. I teach at the middle school and I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I'm currently in school getting my master's in education and my credential in teaching English. So that's kind of where I'm at. My husband works for Wells Fargo in due diligence. So he works with a lot of businesses abroad or in the United States that want to open business accounts with Wells Fargo, and he approves or denies them basically. And there we have the eyeshadow. I don't think I'm going to do any eyeliner today, but I'm going to put on false lashes, and I still have to do eyebrows and face, so we have a long way to go. I did my foundation already. I just did a thin layer. I like to do my foundation before my eyes, but I don't do my concealers or my contouring before my eyes, so I look kind of like a crazy raccoon for the first 10 minutes of doing my makeup. We're going to go ahead and use my Shape Tape concealer. This is in Fair Light Neutral, and I just put a generous amount underneath the eyes, on my chin, on the bridge of my nose. And then this goes right underneath the eyes. All right, and this brings me to the next question. What is my favorite iced coffee? Let me show you. I love I love Dipbrows, but any iced coffee, Pete's, Starbucks, Jack in the Box, Burger King, McDonald's, like any fast food place that has coffee, it's always really good because I like it sugary. But Dipbrows and Pete's are probably my two favorite. I'm obsessed with iced coffee. Okay, so now that I have my concealer done, I like to go in and set my whole face with translucent powder. I'm going to be using the CoverGirl translucent powder in shade 105. It's just the translucent shade. It's the same thing I use to set my concealer on my eyes with. So what I like to do is I just turn it upside down, get some powder in the lid, and then I go in with the best powder brush I've ever tried in my entire existence. It's the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH01 brush. It's super, super fluffy. It feels so nice on the skin, and I just dip into it. And I don't know why I wore black, but you know. So I just like to tap it on there, and I just pounce it. Once my face is set, I go in and I will do powder contour next. And I use an e.l.f. angled blush brush is what it's called. So if you want to go buy it, they sell it at Target, Walmart, whatever. But it's the e.l.f. angled blush brush. But I use it for powder contouring because I love the angle that it has. It's my favorite one. And I'm going to go in with my Tarte contour palette. It smells like chocolate. It smells so good. Okay, so I'm going in with the darkest shade right down here. And I just like to dust that on into a nice sharp line. And then what I'll do is when there's no more product on the brush, I just blend it upwards a little bit. See? Snatched. And sometimes when I'm doing my powder contour, I can be a little heavy-handed, so it gets kind of harsh. But that's why I do it first, because then what I like to do, and I'll go in with my powder brush from Jaclyn Hill and Morphe, and I just really dig in there. That I've got a whole bunch of white product on there. And then what I like to do is I just tap it on all the places where I put concealer after I do my bronzer to clean up any harsh lines. And I just feel like this powder is so beautiful. It really gives my skin like an airbrush finish. Even when I have some texture, it works really well. I feel like there's other powders that kind of accentuate your texture, and I feel like this one's so buttery and smooth that it doesn't do that. I don't know. All right, so with that same contour palette, I'm gonna contour my nose. And while I'm contouring my nose, I'm gonna answer another question. So this question is, what is my go-to sunscreen? Well, I don't really use sunscreen. Oh my gosh. The beauty gods are gonna murder me. I don't like sunscreen. I have sensitive skin, so a lot of it irritates my skin, my eyes. I get itchy. I don't think I'm allergic to it. I just have really sensitive skin. But I will say there is my mom, anytime I'm like an adult, anytime my mom tells me to put sunscreen on, she'll like force me to put it on my face. She uses the Olay sunscreen. It's like a moisturizer with, I think it's SPF 50 in it. And that one doesn't really irritate me as much. I just can't put it anywhere near my eyes. So I put it like on my nose, forehead, cheeks, anywhere where I might get sunburn, but I don't put it on my whole face. But I do like that one. So if you're looking for a facial sunscreen, I would say try Olay. Other than that, I have no idea. Shout out, mom. Okay, so once the powder's on there and I look like a crazy person, I go back into that white powder and I really just get in there. And then I just blend it out. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just softening it so there's no harsh lines. And I like my contour, like I said, to not be super sharp. I like it to be more natural. It's like a, it's like a nose job. You don't want it to be noticeable, but like you also want it to look good, you know? All right, and then in the same contour palette, I'm gonna go in with this blush right here. It doesn't have a name. Maybe it does on the back. They pop out, but I'm scared. But it's a really good blush, and I'm going to use the Jaclyn and Morphe blush brush in JH04. So it looks like that. And I just dip it right on in there. And then what I like to do is I'll smile. I put it right on the apples of my cheeks and I blend it upwards towards my ear. All right, so the face is pretty much done other than setting spray and highlighter, but I like to do those things last. So what I'm gonna do next is my brows. And I am a wait until your makeup is almost finished to do your brows type of girl. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in the shade Taupe, as well as the Anastasia Beverly Hills angled brow brush that they sell right next to the two. You can buy them together. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to answer another question. If I can talk while I'm doing my brows, we'll see. But the question is, who is your favorite artist? I will say my favorite musical artist is J. Cole. I think that's what they were asking because it was asked by a friend who also is a musician. So I think that's what he was trying to say. But yeah, J. Cole's my favorite. And I also am like really standing for Ariana Grande right now. So I know those are like opposites, but J. Cole, Ariana Grande. Those are my two favorites. And I answered that question without doing my brows. So here go my brows. And what I like to do is I just dip into the product and I make a straight line all the way from the bottom of my brows all the way to the tail. And then I like to go in and fill in the top. And then I connect the tail at the end. And then I just go in with my brush and I fill in any sparseness. And yeah, I'm gonna do the other one. I'll be right back. Okay, so brows are done. And what I do once I'm done filling them in with the brow pomade is I go in with my European Wax Center. This is called the Ready Set Brow. It's a clear brow gel and it sets your brows in place literally all day. Anastasia Beverly Hills sells one too. The brush on it, the applicator, is really small and I don't remember how much it is. I think it's more expensive than this one. I think this one's like $19, but regardless, either one I'm sure works fine, but this one is my go-to. So I just get a whole bunch of product. It has a bigger applicator, so I feel like it's a lot easier to brush on your brows. And so you just comb them with the clear gel and they stay in place literally all day long. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to do my lower lash line. And so with that same Dose of Colors palette, Desi and Katy Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, I'm going to be grabbing a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush. It's the JH38. It's a little blending brush. It's a dense, short blending brush. And this is perfect to get right underneath the, to get right underneath the lower lash line and to really smoke out and blend it out. So first what I'm going in with is the first shade that we went in with, which is Basic. And this is just a really nice light nude color. And I'm just gonna sweep that all the way across. Yep. Now, yep. Gosh, why am I like this? Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with that darker color Cheens. And this color is really dark and super pigmented, so I'm just getting a little tiny bit on the tip there. So I'm starting on the outer corner, right where that dark brown eyeshadow is, and I'm gonna drag it down into my under eye. And I'm really blowing it out there. You can see I stopped about halfway. And once I do the other side and there's no more product on here, I'll blend it further up, closer to the lash line. So it's kind of like starts out thicker and then gets skinnier as you get closer to the tear duct. Okay, so the eyes are done. Now I'm going to pop on some false lashes and I will be right back. I gotta stop saying that. Just let me pop on my lashes. All right, so I popped on some lashes and I just used the Ardell double band wispy lashes. And don't be like me, don't use tweezers. Or I guess use tweezers, I don't know. Everybody tells me not to use tweezers and I use them anyway. But now I'm going to use my favorite. This actually brings me to my very last question, which is what are my favorite drugstore products? So I'll tell you while I'm finishing up my makeup, I'll tell you my favorite ones and I'll show them to you because I'm going to be using them for the last few steps of my makeup. But the first one is this mascara. It's the Maybelline New York Colossal Mascara. They sell it in waterproof too, but I don't prefer waterproof. But this one, I get the shade Glam Black and it works amazingly. And I just like to coat my lashes in it whether I'm wearing false lashes or not. I put false lashes on first and then I follow up with the mascara to blend them into the falsies. And then I'm going to use this same mascara on my bottom lashes as well. So really quick, before I tell you my next favorite drugstore product, I'm going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Okay. And then as that's drying, I like to go in with my highlighter. My highlight, I should say. So my next favorite drugstore product is the Wet n Wild highlighters. This is a new shade. I don't have any of the old shades. I just learned or heard about how good this highlighter is, so I went and bought it. It was only $4, so, or maybe $6, but regardless, amazing compared to my Laura Mercier highlighter. This one cost $40. This one cost $6. They're both beautiful. Which one's gonna break your bank? Maybe. This one will not. So I'm going to go in with my Jaclyn Hill times Morphe highlighting brush. It's the JH09. Looks just like that. It's like a tapered, fluffy brush. This thing is amazing. So I like to dip in there and I get really get in there. And then I just sweep this. Oh my God. Every time I put on highlighter, I just feel like, oh. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier on the other side. This one has more pink tones. That one's pretty white, but I don't care. I'm not really going anywhere today. So I will test the other one out on the other side. And I'm dipping into that Laura Mercier. I've actually never done this. Or used two highlighters on the same, or just kicked my camera. Two highlighters on the same look. So let's compare them and see. I mean, this is so beautiful. Okay, so I like them both. This one's definitely a lot creamier, I will say. The other one is kind of dry. The Wet n Wild one is kind of dry. But for $6 versus $40, there is a difference, definitely in price, definitely in formula, but you don't have to break your bank to get a good highlight. Obviously, like, it's there, it's bright, it's beautiful. This one just applies a lot smoother, I would say. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me not be a glazed donut here. As my husband would say, why are you trying to look sweaty? Let me not look sweaty. Okay, I'm actually gonna take this one, add a little bit. I'll just mix them. And I'm gonna take it on my Cupid's bow. Oh yeah, that's what I like. Come to mama. In my Instagram pictures, this is a trick that I do. I put highlighter over where I would put concealer. I don't know if that's like a trick, if anybody else does that, but so like where the light hits, I put it like right on my chin, like that, right in the middle. I just dab a little bit so it looks bright and like shiny. Ooh. All right, and now for lips, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow. This is the best nude lipstick I've ever tried. It can look kind of purpley if you have a darker complexion, but if you're more fair like me, it does come off very cool tone brown, so that's why I really like it. And I'm not using any lip primer or lip liner or anything. I'm just going straight on the lip. Okay, and that is the finished look. Thank you so much to everybody who asked me questions on Instagram, and to everybody who is watching this, subscribing, and likes my pictures on Instagram. I appreciate you. And hopefully you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. A bitch is living for this highlighter.